Apes on tape. Hello and welcome to Apes on Tape's Sound Excited podcast, episode number 10. We're here with Harrison Mills of Seattle electronic duo ODESZA. Harrison, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well tonight. Very sunny here in the Bay. And let's see, you guys put out your Friends Never Die EP last Tuesday, right? A week ago?
Yes.
Congratulations. I've been really enjoying that album since I first heard the title track. It's a free download. We'll have the link on there. It's been a pretty solid release week for you so far?
Yeah, I mean, we did not expect people to be so into it, but it's definitely a good thing when you have people saying they're enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's good. Better than the other way around where you put in a bunch of time and have high expectations.
Yeah.
You guys just did the self-release, right?
Yeah. We just put it out online for free.
That's very cool. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to get distribution and exposure, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit harder when you have to have a middleman for everything. If you can just give someone a link and just say it's all up there for free and go ahead and grab it.
Yeah.
Not really a lot to go through.
Very true. So, at risk of being cliche, I was curious of your process. I know sometimes there's a lot going on in your tracks. You guys start with a beat or a sample first? You don't have to give me a whole creative philosophy here, but what's the order of layering typically?
Usually one of us presents to the other person the start of a song, and sometimes that can be as little as just a loop someone made out of just either some synth stuff and drums, or just maybe even just drums and a sample, and we'll just kind of trade it back and forth, and we end up usually meeting up after like a couple days of trading stuff online every couple days, and then we spend, sometimes we meet up every day, but usually meet up after a couple days and then just spend all day trying to finish and polish stuff out. And then usually we think something's done, and then one of us will change it without really telling the other person, and show them, and then re-inspire them to do more to the song, and then it just keeps evolving into a bunch of different versions until
Infinite
we're
loop.
kind of satisfied with it or sick of it. Yeah.
Awesome. I think that collaboration with the duo seems like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really is. I think, at least speaking for myself, that I've learned a lot more than I think I would have learned just continually doing stuff on my own. Just collaboration has helped me try a lot of things I wouldn't have tried before.
And do you guys both have a background? Did you do music education or just kind of fooled around on computers? How did you get into this type of music?
I know Clay did classical piano for a long time. He's a little more traditionally trained, but I mean, the only thing I really did was, I was in middle school band. But other than that, I was just kind of messing around with keyboards and stuff that
Nice.
like my dad. But
That's cool to
nothing
hear. I
really.
did the same thing. I quit marching band, or I quit middle school band after like 3 years when they told us we had to march in high school, and I'm like, I'm done with that. And that was as far as my.
That's exactly what happened to me.
I was like, I don't want the cute girls to see me out there marching. I'm not doing this. Motivation for sure.
Exactly.
And you guys, let's see, it's I guess listed on Facebook and everything from Seattle, but are you from Bellingham originally?
Well, we're both from like the sides of Seattle. He's from Bainbridge Island, and I'm from kind of like Redmond, Bellevue area.
Oh, cool.
And so Seattle's kind of the middle ground there. But we met up in school in Bellingham, Washington, where Western Washington University.
Yeah, definitely. I'm from Spokane, so I know.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
I think I saw Austin Santiago, like from Wild Buffalo and Summer Meltdown, had posted something about that led me to see you guys from Bellingham. But I've had a few friends up there, like Learning Team Plays in Bellingham. I produced and recorded with another artist up there, and like a tour stop up there. But I haven't really dug in. Is the Bellingham music scene pretty cool?
It is cool, but it's definitely it's not really electronic. It's a lot more like folky and rock kind of oriented. So when me and Clay kind of found each other, we were like, oh, finally someone that makes this kind of music.
Yeah, definitely. And you probably know it better than I, but how is the Seattle electronic scene? Like, I've had friends sort of explain it as developing still and maybe not necessarily as visible as the folk or soul movements going on there, but it seems like it's still certainly bustling. Is that accurate, or?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. It's actually, it feels like it is still developing, but it seems to be rapidly developing as of late. Decibel Festival is doing a lot.
I'm just going to bring that up, yeah.
Yeah, they're bringing some really cool acts here that I wouldn't have ever seen. And even us, like, playing other festivals down the West Coast, they're grabbing people that I haven't even seen play over here, so it's really cool. to see those kind of people coming to Seattle, and they also help support local artists a lot. So that's really helpful, and they're definitely expanding the scene and bringing it out there.
For sure, I was really impressed by the lineup last year, and I think, and this there's too, but I think it was big for Seattle to get kind of caught up with the rest of the West Coast in terms of electronic music. And you guys are playing Decibel Fest this weekend, so you're pretty excited for that, I imagine.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited because I've been seeing the lineups every year and been like, wow.
I know, each time I see it, I'm like, how did that happen so quickly?
Yeah, it's really, I think we're just really lucky. I don't really know how else to say it, but I'm definitely feeling very blessed to be able to do that.
For sure. And can you identify kind of a Seattle style or sound in terms of electronic? Like I know Beat Connection, there might be some similarities with you guys, dreamy, sunny beach vibes or whatever. But are there others up there? Do you have buddies or anyone else we should be listening to that kind of identifies that Seattle idea?
I would say, Seattle has a lot of, rainy weather, and it's gray out all the time.
We just did a podcast last week with a band about that.
Yeah, it's pretty dreary. So there's a lot of kind of more kind of laid back, atmospheric, kind of ethereal electronic that's pretty cool over here. IG88 and Kid Simple doing stuff. But I would say that us and Beat Connection, people like that doing the more summery stuff, I think part of that is because when it's nice out here, it's really nice.
Oh man, definitely.
That's kind of like, that's what you look forward to all year. And when you have this much rain to make the area so green when it's sunny out, it just looks beautiful. So I think we kind of try to capture that vibe.
Yeah, I feel that when I was thinking about that too. So changing gears a little bit, I know you guys have done really well on the Hype Machine, and I checked it a few times, and I'll see you guys have the top spot or the top 3, and obviously that's just one metric, but have you felt that that's made an immediate benefit on your success, considering that, compared to, say, the people above or below you guys on that chart, you've put out relatively little?
Yeah, it's cool to see our names next to people that we really like on there, and I think that a lot of people have found out about us through Hype Machine, so definitely I feel like it's helped us a lot. I wish I knew a little bit more about Hype Machine, how exactly it worked, but because it seems sometimes really random, and sometimes I
totally
feel like I understand how things get up there. I think it's definitely been helpful.
Yeah, and I think, for example, a few years ago we had a writer at South by Southwest, and he very jokingly, sort of poking fun at the South by Southwest buzz cycle. He started a hashtag pre-hype playlist and spread it all over Twitter, and it was crazy because it sort of just took off, and we had bands emailing us from, United States, Europe, Korea, thinking it was serious. And it just goes to show that, it can't be the only metric, and you try to have to take it with a grain of salt. But that being said, I think there is a lot of validity to Hype Machine, and being in a band is hard, so if that gets you the next step, then so be it.
Yeah, I think I'd like to know what blogs follow Hype Machine and then just grab things that are already on it, and what blogs actually grab before they're on it.
Yeah, and I think that, it's
a list.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a loop too, because I was talking to some bigger blogs than us for sure, and they were saying that they have the writers go on, and there's sometimes they don't catch if it's didn't go out in a press release or they didn't see it online, that sometimes they'll show up on the Hype Machine first and they'll bring it on too. But then because they're so big, that kind of brings in a different formula to it. But it's interesting for sure.
Yeah.
So you guys have played some pretty sweet festivals so far. I saw Summer Meltdown and Lightning in a Bottle too. Are there any in particular that stood out to you along the road?
Sasquatch was definitely one that was amazing, because that is kind of, when we first formed making music together, we were just kind of sitting down going, whoa, wouldn't it be great? The two things we were talking about was going on a big tour and playing Sasquatch. So
every band from the Northwest dream.
Yeah, pretty much. So we were kind of blown away when we found out. I remember I told Clay, because I found out first, and he was coming into my house, and he was carrying a bunch of equipment, and I was like, Clay, I have really bad news. He's like, what, man? He was really upset already. I was like, we're playing Sasquatch, and he dropped all of his stuff, and he was just freaking out. And I was
I hope he played a joke onto it.
Yeah, it was really fun. We were really excited just to be there, and the fact that people there were really receptive was awesome. So.
Yeah, I feel like the whole electronic tent, looking back from 2005 or 2006, the last few years has really taken off. We were talking about Seattle kind of embracing electronic music more.
Yeah, definitely.
And was
I feel
Lightning in
like
a Bottle
it's
cool
known
too?
for its like. Sorry, what?
Oh, sorry. Go for, you can answer that first, and then or after.
I was gonna say that it's kind of more known for. I mean, obviously like Nirvana and Jimi Hendrix, and then slowly kind of turning into like kind of like there's the hip hop thing with whole Macklemore, and then so now it's like shifting a little bit to electronic area,
Yeah, it's
which
cool
I
to
think is
see.
very cool.
And I've
Yeah.
mentioned it a few times on this podcast too, where like having been such a big Northwest fan, it's cool to see even in recent years it move away from sort of that dominant folk. Like I love Fleet Foxes and Head and the Heart and stuff, but it's cool to see more expansive stuff and not just that dominating. More diversity, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think. Yeah, I think that that's like my favorite thing to see it just at a festival. Even is just seeing a lot of different acts in one kind of area. I think I don't really understand why people are turned off by like a totally different kind of band opening for a different kind of band. But I mean, I get why people will put them together. But I really appreciate it when it's something like wildly different every
Oh
time.
yeah, it's a good surprise, and it's I think that when
Yeah.
bands that I see and they surprise me, and it's like a huge benefit because normally I probably wouldn't find them at all, and then I have a bigger attachment to
Right.
them seeing them live. I would agree with you on that.
Definitely. Yeah.
Was Lightning in a Bottle pretty cool? Because I've never. That's the same weekend as Sasquatch, I think, and or maybe they moved it, but I've always tried to go to that and had friends go, where they've said it's awesome.
Yeah. It was. I mean, we had never played a show in the sun before, and so
First run.
that was really fun because in Sasquatch we were in the tents and it wasn't like it was raining, so
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that
I'm sure it
wasn't
rained a
really an
ton.
outside show. Yeah, but just playing out in the sun with like everyone was just ready to dance, so that was really cool. It was like the crowd was already ready. I think it was kind of easy because they were so excited just to be there. So, but that was really fun. Just whenever a crowd gets into it, it's impossible to not have fun, even if
Oh,
you're
totally,
standing up.
totally.
Yeah.
And speaking of tour dates, you guys have a pretty extensive tour coming up, which actually ends in the Bay, so I'm stoked for that. But you guys feel ready for it, or is it kind of overwhelmed with the release and the cross-country journey? A lot of things going on at once.
I feel like we're ready for the tour, but I definitely feel like we're handling a lot of things at once right now. I mean, this is all new to us. I feel like as soon as we came out with Summer's Down, we just kind of decided to try to do the music thing, and it's just kind of been nonstop since then. But I mean, I don't feel as much overwhelmed as I do feel just kind of lucky to be able to be given this shot. So it's not really anything to complain about. But we're definitely working on a lot of things right now. Like we're already deep into a whole new project, so
Oh, cool.
I'm not allowed to really talk about it yet. But I'm definitely
Top
excited
secret.
for all the stuff we're doing.
I think it's a good perspective too, because sometimes I'll talk to bands that just seem like they can't stand to have to give interviews or be on the road and stuff. And like I've played in a number of bands before, and I'm thinking if I got to that level, I know that that's a small annoyance, but I like the other perspective that it is, a lot of luck that it works out and you can enjoy it too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like there's definitely been times where you get stressed out and you're just like, I haven't slept. I don't want to talk to anyone. But
Yeah.
I think that if you can't appreciate that other people care about what you're doing, then you're probably not the coolest person.
That's a great. I might quote you on that. Cool. Well, Harrison, thank you very much for joining us again. ODESZA has a new album, My Friends Never Die EP, and full tour. We'll have that up on the page as well. Harrison, good luck and enjoy Decibel Festival this weekend as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. See you later, Nick.
See ya.